Hi, my name is Marion Behzad, and I'd like to share with you today some of my family's favorite recipes. One of our favorite recipes is called Persian patties. Persian patties are very much like hamburgers, except for the way that the spicing is done and the breading on the outside. My family loves this. It's one of our oldest recipes, and I at first did not believe that cinnamon and ground beef would actually taste very good together because, like most everybody, I always thought of cinnamon as having a little bit of sugar and going into a dessert. But this makes a very spicy patty. It's very, very good for every day. It's also good for company. The first thing that you want to do is put some ground beef, about 1 pound to 1.5 pounds, in a nice large bowl. Not too large, but medium, such as this. And you're going to add 1 egg. And the spices, the unusual spice here is the cinnamon, so I'm going to put in about 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And to spice it up even more, I'm going to add about 1 teaspoon of salt, and then almost 1 teaspoon of black pepper. I'm going to mix this up so that we can incorporate everything and make this a very uniform mixture. The other things that go into this dish to make it nice and spicy are some onions, which have been chopped very fine, or you can also puree them in an electric mixer or chopper if you have one. Makes it easier. Put those in, and my favorite thing is you can put leftover mashed potatoes in this dish. I have about 1/2 cup of mashed potatoes. It's a great way to use them. If you don't have leftover potatoes, you can always cut up a potato and boil it and then mash it and put it in the mixture. The idea is to get as uniform a mixture as possible. And you've got a lot of things in here, so it takes a little bit of mixing to get this just right. So now I have a fairly uniform mixture of the potatoes, the onions, and the spices. And if there's little bits of potatoes showing, that's just fine. What we're going to do now is take a little scoop, and you can make it like you do your average hamburger patty. What I like to do with these is make them into ovals, like that, and then put them in some breadcrumbs, fine breadcrumbs, shake off the excess, and set them in the pan. And you can continue doing this until you have as many as you like. 1 pound of meat makes enough to feed about 4 people. So now I've made about 4 or 5 patties, and I have a non-stick pan. You can use a non-stick pan and just very little oil. I just sprinkle just a little bit of olive oil around, about 1 tablespoon, no more. If you do have a stainless steel pan, however, you might want to put at least 2 tablespoons in, because these are coated with breadcrumbs and sometimes they can stick. So now we're going to saute them until they're browned on one side. Turn them over just once and brown them on the other side. So now these are sauteed till they're a golden brown. They look very uniform, and you want to be sure that they're cooked through. And I'm just taking them out, setting them on a plate to cool. So here you have the finished dish. These are the cutlets or Persian patties. I've put them over a large platter of saffron rice, and I have potatoes on this platter also. Potatoes are put at the bottom of the pot with some butter. The rice is piled on top, and the saffron is mixed with rice and then put into the pot. They're cooked separately. When you get ready to serve, simply spoon out the rice and arrange the patties on top and enjoy a wonderful dish. Another of our family's favorite recipes is called Asian slaw. Asian slaw is really healthy, very easy to make. It's usually made with 2 types of cabbage, green and red. It has chopped cilantro, and it has toasted peanuts, which I'm going to add to the mixture that I have in the bowl. Toasting the peanuts helps bring out the flavor. And all you really need then is a little bit of pepper, about half a teaspoon, about half a teaspoon of salt, and then add the dressing. The dressing is usually an Asian ginger dressing, or it could be a Thai peanut dressing. And just add about half a cup and enough to moisten. If you like to have it more wet than it is, where it's dry, as you can see now, you can always add more of the dressing. But keep it mixed, keep it in the refrigerator for about 10 or 15 minutes so that the cabbage actually has a chance to wilt and absorb the dressing. If you like more cilantro, you can always add a few tablespoons more. This has about 2 tablespoons. If you don't like cilantro, you can add fresh parsley instead. And there you are. Nice, healthy, cool, refreshing salad.